Welcome to Week 11 podcast. All right, here we are, playoff push. Rob, you have some announcement before we get started?
It's a boy. No. Next week we're going to do the waiver wire will process on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. That means free agent wire will open right after that for the 1 week only for Thanksgiving. You're not going to see that on your calendar until after the completion of this week's games. I'll move it just one time to 8 o'clock, and then I'll reset it the next week. So we'll have everything done in advance of Thursday morning. And then, of course, free agent wire. And as usual, Thanksgiving picks they play just like it's a Thursday night game. Don't text the commissioner because you overslept or forgot. I don't care. So there you go. So, the other thing is, let's a reminder, Venmo, happy holidays, pay the commish.
Come on, guys. Pay the league. Pay the
league. This is the commish makes exactly no money off this league. So yes. Not a penny.
And Rob, I forget, will Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, will we all receive an email of the transactions of the waiver wire?
Yeah, it should.
Okay,
it should just be like everything.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime anything happens, it'll go through. And I'll send a text out to everybody to remind them. So, and if it goes past it, then you got the free agent wire. So life's good, right?
Life is good. Okay. Let's look at our standings real quick. Conference one. The Gang Green 7-4, New Denver 6-5, Savs 4-7, and Bruins 4-7. So we can eliminate Savs and Bruins, right?
No, you can't.
What?
Because you can't. I mean, it's the slimmest. You can't eliminate Kells when we get to the other side either, because as we're going to talk about this week, that Gang Green, New Denver, El Oso, and Wolfpack seem to be in a four-way race for the playoffs here, with, in all fairness, El Oso way the hell out in front, pretty much already in, which he is already in, by the way.
Yes.
But then the Gang Green, New Denver, and Wolfpack all decided to go ahead and lose last week. So that, tied it up a little bit there. I mean, in all honesty, Savs and Bruin Maniacs, it's the longest of long shots. I mean, 400-plus points down and 3 games back with 3 games to go. But they're not quite even out of first place. That's kind of stupid. But, 3 weeks to go, 2 games behind that wild card, Kells, Savs, and Bruin. That's a little more feasible. New Denver could fall into he could fall off the cliff, right?
Yeah, it gets exciting. And the other division, El Oso Verde, Wolfpack, and Kells and the Heart Foundation. Yeah, so mathematically it's still in it, Rob. So
yeah, no. Well, Heart Foundation is absolutely done. There's no hope for him this year. I mean, but it's and El Oso Verde is, unless he drops 3 in a row and I win 3 in a row, he's got the first round bye. I'm thinking he's going to get the first round bye, Sam. But he got a lot. I kind of looked at that after my disappointing loss on Monday night and went, that sure did kind of squeeze up there a little bit. So
yeah. You have some shot. El Oso, we'll talk about his games, but El Oso looks human these last 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? So,
I've been dealing with a lot of buys. It's. The NFL this year really kind of concentrated these buys in 10, 11, and 12 with the good teams. So it's kind of been a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But we're all dealing with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's go over to the Conference 2 Fire Division. The Bagger the Bat, who's on a hot streak, winning 6 in a row. TB12 the Great, even though he lost 2 in a row, he's still in second over there. High Rollers, and then yours truly, Ninja Assassin, losing 2 in a row.
And let's just take the other one in the conversation here too, because Degenerate Bastards, right now, Degenerate Bastards is, again, unless he falls off the cliff, and he seems to have righted his ship a little bit. He did have a tough loss this week. More than likely going to get in. Mm-hmm. But things have gotten kind of interesting there, too, because TB12 the Great has kind of really fallen off here. And those points at 1339 are just that's not doing him any favors. And to be honest with you, 1330 is, that's not really a 7-4 record, to be honest with you. So there is some, he's got a lot of guys on his ass right there with straight LA High Rollers, obviously in a better position. Mm-hmm. 1 game out. But yeah, you're still in there, Sam. And even Autumn Wind is, has a shot. I mean, he's got the points. Too many guys probably in front of him. Sego is much like the Hart Foundation on the other side. A couple good long-term players, but, Mama said there will be seasons like this. So thanks for playing, Scotty. Do your son a favor and don't help him out this year,
All right. Let's go to our first matchup: the Bag or the Bat versus the Degenerate Bastard. Tay pulled this one out, 163 to 144, and his QBs, showed up this time.
Oh, it showed up. Yeah, no, they went off. I mean, this was a game here. We had a first place game last week, but this was much better. Bagger Bat and Degenerate Bastards both flexing some muscle this week. Both coming out real well. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, my God, Tay ran Brian Hill out there. God bless him. But yeah, his quarterback's flexing the muscle. DJ Chark, I'm not sure how he got 32. It seems like, Jacksonville, I guess they still play in the NFL, but he had a big game there. He got the -1 out of the Steelers. Michael on the other side gets the 21 out of the Rams. And in a good, God, that game on Sunday night was awful, wasn't it? Oh man, it was agonizing. But he just kind of comes up. So, he kind of catches up to him there a little bit. Leonard Fournette continues his I have no idea where the end zone is season. And Marquise Brown, I mean, what a disappointment. The guy was coming back off an ankle injury, and I picked him up to start him too. The disappointing part of that game was, where the hell was Houston in his participation in this alleged shootout, right?
Yep. Everybody was saying high-scoring game. Everybody. Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, I didn't start Baltimore's defense. I mean, you got Houston in Baltimore, and you're going on. You got like 41-38. I mean, it's not that. You're thinking like 34-28 something, and instead you get a late garbage time touchdown from freaking Carlos Hyde, right? So, screw you, Houston. You kind of let a lot of us down this week. So Tay's rolling there with those quarterbacks. Dalvin Cook, Minnesota took the first half off, but he's rolling along quite nicely. And, I'll tell you honestly, the Degenerates team is shaping up quite a bit here. He's getting Devontae Adams back, and I think this team, it could – these guys are still going to be playing come playoff time, and that's a big thing. So it's going to be interesting. We'll be talking about these guys again down the road, right?
Yep. So congrats.
And honestly, they're fighting for that first round bye right now. I mean, obviously, I'm not looking at the points right now. I have to assume Bagger Back's got Degenerate Bastards beat because he's the century man this year. Mm-hmm. But he's coming on, so it'll be interesting there. We got 3 games to go, and it's going to be kind of fun.
Yep. And all right, let's go to our next matchup, Straight LA versus TB12 the Great. Now, this is interesting, Rob, because Straight LA has been like steamrolling, like high points on this, but 118, just enough to get the win.
Yeah, isn't that the cruel irony of fantasy football? I mean, you're finally getting some cheap wins here after getting some really bad losses. So it kind of evens out, throughout the whole thing. Like, we all lose with 150. We all win with 100. It happens during the season. However, I don't know anybody that loses with 150 like 4 times in a row. So it's kind of crazy. It's just, he's had some bad luck on the year. I mean, we talk about that every week, so we're not going to go through that again. He's still very much alive. It's going to be tough, but what he is alive in is the overall point race. So it's a good week. Not a lot stands out in this game other than the fact that Jameis Winston managed to get positive numbers despite just having, another like Jameis-like day, right? And, Zeke scored for Straight LA, so he's kind of big there. Patriots, obviously there's a lot going around earlier this year about the Patriots, and justifiably so. They've kind of, now that they're playing actual football teams out there, this is looking more like, a little bit more what you would expect. Although, dear God, be rooting for Straight LA and Wolfpack to not make the playoffs if you don't want to deal with the Patriots defense, because that end of the year schedule is ridiculous. TB12 the Great on the flip side, James Conner flatlined immediately on Monday, and that was a bad game for Carolina, but McCaffrey still got 22, huh?
Mm-hmm. Julian Edelman threw a touchdown.
Julian Edelman threw a touchdown. You look at these guys and you go, you look at Connor, McCaffrey, Keenan Allen, and Julian Edelman. Okay, I'm going to stretch this with Julian Edelman here. But the quarterbacks are Mason Rudolph, Kyle Allen, freaking washed-up Phillip Rivers, and then Tom Brady, dude.
Yeah.
Hard to get much off of those guys. So,
Yeah.
oh my God, he had Phillip Rivers playing. Why does anybody still employ Phillip Rivers in week 15 or week 12 or whatever the hell week we're in? God, I wish it was week 15. I'd be in the playoffs right now. Phillip Rivers, dude, you love him, Sam. What do you got to say about that?
I hate him. Anything bad that happens to him, despite an injury, I would never wish injury on anybody, but anything bad happened to him, his stats, I'm all for it. I hate that guy.
Oh, he's done, dude. I mean, if it wasn't for what's his name, Ward on the Chiefs, kind of slipping up a little bit on a 50-yard pass, he's just hucking the ball up in the air to kind of make it interesting late. Not saying that Kansas City really outplayed San Diego in that game because Kansas City looked like crapola too, but they're, they got the interceptions. But man, Rivers, dude, that's 7 interceptions in 2 games. He's got no accuracy. He's trying to make passes he can't make. I know he's not playing; his tackles are missing, but it's not going to fix it. So Phillip Rivers. There you go. So good one for you, straight away.
Good one. Let's go to our next matchup: High Rollers versus Sago. Really close game, 128 to 126. Gosh darn, Josh Allen, 50 points.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to this game. Who with 50 points? Josh Allen. Yeah, I know that was absurd, man. And he wins it with one quarterback. That game there is, and I feel this frustration. Tyreek Hill playing on that slop down there in Mexico. I don't know why they keep trying to subject the Chiefs to playing in Mexico every year. It looked like a golf course on Saturday morning at 7 a.m., dude. It was just not in good shape, despite what, that moron from ESPN tried to tell you all day about the beauty of it. So he goes out. He runs one long play, Hammy tightens up on him. Of course, the deal is that I read is that he wanted to go back in the game, and the Chiefs did not want to put him back out there due to the field conditions, and in fact adjusted their entire offensive game plan to get away from anything that required long tight passes because it was just the field was not in good shape. So there you go. Hey, we played a game in Mexico. Whoopee, it was awesome. So hooray! Got that over with, and that cost Sago a win right there.
Man, and New Orleans Saints did well for Sago. But Tyreek Hill and Sanu, 0 points for him. Geez, Scott, bad luck.
Tyreek, and Sanu, God, that Patriots offense is bad. On the other side though, High Rollers, 50 out of Josh Allen and Melvin Gordon, not much of a game, but Mark Ingram is a guy. I think at this point you got to start saying that. Yeah, he's been a good draft pick, man. He's been top 10 running back quality. He pretty much puts it up every single week, right? So. This is, this is a game where High Rollers is pretty much carried by that 50-point performance, but he does, nothing else even comes at you at all except for, Ingram. But then again, I look at a whole bunch of guys on bye down there on the bench, so there's not much else he could have done. So you got a crappy bye week like that, and boy, that was a bad bye week for this guy. Looking at it a little deeper, I'd say that's pretty good. So take the win, move on, Sago. Been a good season. Not. All
right. Let's go to our next game. Ninja Assassin versus Autumn Wind, 103 to 162. Autumn Wind was just too much for me. Even though he got 0 from Deshaun Watson, it was just, John Brown. Geez, Buffalo. Seriously, who did Buffalo play? What the heck? John Brown.
Oh my God. I'm trying to remember, man. Was it Miami? It was
Miami or dude. Jets or Cincy, whatever.
Oh my God, dude. It was terrible. John Brown, dude, Deshaun Watson is 0.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Who the hell saw that coming?
For a quarterback and for as good as he is,
Well, he was not good that day, and he kind of tweaked his ankle early there, I think, and it didn't help out matters. But that's just a team rolling into another team. Baltimore's obviously red hot right now, and Houston just looked like they had no idea what they were trying to do. They'll be back at home. Houston doesn't play all that good on the road anyway. Ever notice that?
Oh, I know. Teams just some teams just don't travel well. Denver Broncos. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Broncos pissed that game away, but worked out for me. I won $88. I'm in my straight A. I split it with like 44 people, which is better than not winning $88. So I mean, I'll take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam. Tom Brady, dude. Tom Brady, huh?
Tom Brady. He's missing weapons, dude. But I left a lot of players on the bench. I'm sorry. I left a lot of points on the bench. Okay, and that's. I don't think it would have helped.
We're not going to debate this too long, but maybe the weapons are missing a quarterback.
I, I don't know. It's hard to figure out Tom Brady, dude. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, fuck him is my thought. So anyway, moving on. That's a good game for Autumn win, Sam. You are hanging by a very, very, very thin thread.
Let's go to the conference over the Gangrene versus Kells.
I'm good game for Kells there. This team is a lot better in his record. He's got Tom Brady there. I'll tell you, the thing about that game, out of all the things that I not think would beat me on that team, was Kyler Murray going up against San Francisco.
Yes.
And, San Fran came out there with the Monday night hangover, it looked like, and just kind of gave it up in the first half. And that just allowed him to really put a lot of points on there and kind of take me. Stephon Diggs caught a long one, but that actually worked out in my favor because we got Minnesota Vikings back in the black there. So they were looking pretty rough there. I didn't see Kyler Murray getting it done. I knew it was going to be a tough week because I'm playing, I'm sitting there with Russell Williams, Aaron Jones, Kenny Golladay, all these guys that can't play. I could have started Golladay, but why? And it comes down again here. Tyreek Hill. They pull him from the game. Marquise Brown, these things don't work out. Dalvin Cook should have had a better game against Denver. It's just a game I kind of feel like I should have won. No disrespect to Kells. To be honest with you, I wanted to throw Russell Wilson out there, but I was afraid the Kells are hard foundation just for the sanctity of football, even though they're basically all but eliminated with just, especially Hart Foundation when it grabbed onto him just to score some points. It's like $5 to do that and not let me get away with such a, mediocre late season move. I couldn't take that chance. Russell Wilson's too good. I don't want to be out there streaming crap like, Baker Mayfield on a week-to-week basis. So it is what it is. So tough loss. I didn't like it, but I still put up 132, keeps me relevant. My magic number for the playoffs at this point is 1 with 1 loss by Dawn, and it's, I'm in. So, 1 loss by Todd, and I'm in. So, hopefully, but I'd like that $100 bonus for trying, man. I got an even worse bye week coming up this week. So, anyway, enough of talking about me. Let's move on, Sam.
Let's move on. Let's go to New Denver versus El Oso Verde, 128 to 113. And like I said, I'm sure it's the bye week, but like I said, El Oso's been looking human these last 3 weeks. You guys have a chance to beat him, but you guys don't.
Yeah, and this is okay. Look, I got to play Don this week, and he put out his best team. Deshaun Watson let him down. For crying out loud, you got to figure there's the difference right there. Deshaun Watson's got to be able to pick up 15 points on that, and he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He tried. He put his best team out there, but at the end of the day, you're looking down at this and you're looking at so you're right. Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, AJ Green, Tyler Lockett, Mason Crosby, all riding fine, dude. And he's blessed, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. 37 points out of John Brown, and it's good enough. Oakland Raiders defense, nice pickup. Again, thanks, Dad. Pittsburgh Steelers, weren't the biggest ass clown defense on the field, obviously. Kudos to, the Cleveland Browns for that story's been played to death. But, man, wasn't that something, huh?
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, strange is a good word. It's a game that El Oso Verde, I know for a fact, did not think he was going to win. And, he kind of stole that. So that's I don't want to call it a bad loss for New Denver because it's not a bad loss. He obviously tried to put the best team he could out there, and it just kind of flatlined on him. So it's a tough loss, man. Yeah. So he's kind of in the same boat as Gang Green. Tough loss, man. You're not shit. You're doing what the best you can, right?
Yep.
When you're pulling Brian Hill off the damn trash heap to run out there running back, man. You're trying, dude.
Three.
There's nothing else you can say about it, man.
3 points by that. So yeah, no. Congrats to Oso Verde. I mean, he gets the win. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, he's just rolling. All right.
Yeah. Let's go to our next matchup. Savs versus the Heart Foundation, 149 to 130. Not too bad. Jimmy Garoppolo, 43 points. Good Lord.
Yeah, God, Jimmy Garoppolo he's a weird guy to watch because he can be good and then he can just do shit that you just go, what the hell was that, man? I mean, he threw an interception late in that game that was just, or should have been an interception. It's like, bro, what happened there? But yeah, he played great. 43 out of Jimmy Garoppolo. Then again, it's the Arizona Cardinals. They lay down and let everybody drive right over him, right?
Mm-hmm.
This Drew Brees had a nice game, right?
Drew Brees did, yeah. And then the quarterbacks, oh my gosh, Jared Goff 0, Josh Allen, man. I mean, I said it before just earlier, but he's been putting up points these last few weeks. He's been pretty good.
Yeah, and Heart Foundation, looking at that right there, man, I'm wondering if that one play, that long, I wonder if he gets it done on that. That would have been at least about a 13-point play. It would have been a hell of a lot closer. He had one where their left tackle on Sunday night just had a horrible game. I can't say his name escapes me right now, but he just, it just was a bad game. And he actually managed to, they got a technicality call where they didn't have they didn't have enough guys lined up on the line of scrimmage, which is kind of like what you call like junior high school 101 crap. Mm-hmm. So got a long one. The Cooper Cup pulled back. Goff's bad. There's nothing else you can say. I mean, they ran the ball all night. He threw the ball 18 times. He completed a couple. He's not a good quarterback. I don't know what else you got to say other than that he's just not any good, right?
But he's paid like the best quarterback.
Well, I mean, and that's the Rams. They pay everybody there. It's a team full of stars, but they got giant holes everywhere, and it's a mistake, I guess. It's your Dak Prescott warning. But I don't remember, to be perfectly honest with you, Jared Goff ever playing as well as Dak Prescott is right now.
Yeah.
So it's, Goff, who cares what I think about him? But he's, I sleep on a big pile of money each night, but at the end of the day, he goes on TV every single week and embarrasses himself out there. So that's a fucking 2-point game. That's what you come to expect out of Jared Goff at this point, right?
Yeah.
With
the Rams,
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus, I dumped this guy like weeks ago, and I'm just like, my team's better for it. I don't even think about, maybe this is the week Jared Goff does something. Yeah. So anyway, we bashed on Goff long enough. Tough luck for Heart Foundation. Savs, like the brave warrior name that Savs is, came in and, burned the village down, the remnants of the village down for the Heart Foundation this week. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. Let's go to our final matchup, Bruins Maniac versus Wolfpack. Wolfpack not even breaking 100.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. And, if I'm Wolfpack, I'm nervous right now. You're Lamar Jackson and hoping for the Patriots. There's just nothing else out there that's doing it for you, right?
No. My God.
He leaves Todd Gurley on the bench this week, which is probably the right decision. He actually comes through and, does it. But I just don't see I don't see how he's going to be able to get this mess of to be perfectly blunt here, below average skill players to make up for and to pick up the wins he's going to need. And I'm not, it's just tough luck, man. I love you, Todd, but I'm not seeing it. You seeing it, Sam?
No. I mean, nope. I don't see it. I was going to make a comment, but I was like, nope, I don't see it.
No, and again, it's not a knock on his abilities. He's trying just as hard too. It's not like, I really think Damian Williams is the next coming of freaking Christian McCaffrey. Of course, he doesn't think that. He's doing the best with what he's got. Yeah. So this is just realism here at this point. It's just you don't have one guy in that entire skill section that scares you, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Terry McLaurin, Mohamed Sanu, it's Devontae Parker. So he got Lamar Jackson fell out of the sky for him, or fell out of Sav's pocket, and that's keeping him relevant. But if you take him out of that game, that's 51 points, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's just not going to get it done. And Bruin Maniacs, it's not going to happen for him this year. First year back, he's, it's he just too many injuries, just not enough out there. Ezekiel Elliott's he's not a first round pick anymore, and that's and never will be again, right? I mean, can you see Zeke going in the first round of our draft ever again?
I do, Rob.
You do?
Oh yeah. People's gonna pick up Zeke in the first round. I guarantee you next year Zeke will be going in the first round.
I'll debate that all night long, man. I mean, this thing's gonna go for 3 hours. I mean,
not really, by me though. I mean, I'm saying Zeke Elliott, I'm not going to draft him. But
I mean, Zeke Elliott going into what, year 5 next year? It is, I think. I mean, yeah, because running backs just get better with age, and he's one of the 8 best guys you can find. I mean, come on, man. I'm not sure he's one of the top 24.
Watch.
I'm not. I mean, he's not top 10 running back this year, is he? I mean, if he is, it's just on a technicality, So it's, it's just. We'll see. We'll see if somebody takes him first round next year. I mean, no way. I wouldn't. I don't. He's a team. That's a passing team.
Yeah.
At this point, they're good, man. I mean, I was pointing out the other night. I go, dude, the thing is with Jason Witten, he was so bad as an announcer that it almost made you forget how good he is as a tight end.
Yeah.
He looks great out there. I'm trying to think why he ever retired.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. So team. Tough luck week. We'll see. Maybe Wolfpack can prove me wrong. He still, has the best inside tracking to catch a Don, or me for that matter. I mean, Don can match me and then take me over as and move it into where I'm wild card. So we'll see. All right.
So there you go. All right. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Don't forget, Waiver Wires is Wednesday at 8 p.m. and I'll make sure to post that too. Yes, next week. We're not sure about Thanksgiving podcast yet. I mean, next week podcast, but we'll let you guys know. But if we don't have a podcast next week, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
I'm just going to tell my wife if we don't have a podcast, I'm just going to run all my shtick on her for 45 minutes next.
There you go. Wednesday. At least 45 minutes. At least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's like, you do anyway. That's all she hears from Sunday through. Shout out to Nolan's great team. He asked me every week, you talk about my team being 2-1. I said, shut up, Nolan.
There you go.
I keep telling him we have a second podcast where all we do is we gush about him, right?
Yes.
All right, Sam. Thank you, brother.
For Rob, I'm Sam. Thank you guys. Have good luck this weekend.